This problem is number 27 on our final review sheet. It's an example of how to simplify rational expressions. The expression reads, x squared minus 4x minus 12 divided by x minus 6 equals 8. The first step you want to take is factor out the top of the equation, which is x squared minus 4x minus 12. When you are factoring, you want to think what times what equals negative 12 and adds up to negative 4. The answer is negative 6 and positive 2, because when multiplied, they equal negative 12, but when added, they equal negative 4. Step 2 is cancel out the like terms on the top and the bottom. Once you have your factor binomial, you want to plug it into the top part, which will give you x minus 6 times x plus 2 divided by x minus 6 equals 8. You can then cancel out x minus 6 since it is the same on the top and the bottom. That will leave you with x plus 2 equals 8. Step 3. To solve for x by subtracting 2 from both sides. You have to subtract 2 from x plus 2 equals 8 because you want to isolate the x. That will leave you with x equals 6. Step 4. Check your answer by plugging it back into your equation. When you plug it back into your equation, you should end up with 6 squared minus 4 times 6 minus 12 divided by 6 minus 6 equals 8. 6 squared equals 36, while negative 4 times 6 equals negative 24. And you bring down the negative 12. When you add that together, you get 0. 6 minus 6 also gives you 0. Therefore, you end up with 0 equals 8. That is not a true statement, so therefore, the answer is no solution.
Another example of simplifying rational expressions is number 28 on the final review sheet. It's x squared plus 5x plus 6 over x plus 3 equals negative 1. Your first step is to factor out the top part of the expression, which is x squared plus 5x plus 6. You're going to want to find out what times what equals 6 and adds up to 5. The two numbers are positive 3 and positive 2, and you're going to want to put them into parentheses like so. Your step 2 is going to be to cancel out like terms, the top and the bottom. On the top, you're going to put x plus 3 with parentheses and x plus 2 with parentheses over x plus 3 equals negative 1. You have x plus 3 on both the top and the bottom, and you are going to cancel those out, and you're going to be left with x plus 2 equals negative 1. On your third step, you're going to isolate the x by subtracting 2 on both sides. X plus 2 equals negative 1. You're going to subtract 2 to both sides like so, and you're going to end up with x equals negative 3. On your fourth step, you're going to check your answer by plugging negative 3 into the original equation. Your original equation is x squared plus 5x plus 6 over x plus 3 equals negative 1. You're going to plug in negative 3 to where all the x's are at. So like over here, it is negative 3 squared plus 5 parentheses negative 3 plus 6 over negative 3 plus 3 equals negative 1. Once you work out the top part, you're going to end up with 9 minus 15 plus 6 over negative 3 plus 3. When you work out the top part, you're going to end up with 0 once you work it out. On the bottom part, negative 3 plus 3 equals 0. So 0 equals 0. But don't forget to bring down the negative 1. So 0 equals negative 1 is not true. So there is no solution.